What a test that was, how amazing, how epic, and that was a war. Welcome back to the Black Jersey, guys. It's your boy Max. Just like the last time, I woke up at 3:45 AM to bring an analysis about the Springboks versus the British and Irish Lions to you guys, and wow, that second test was amazing. The Springboks were down 6-9 at halftime, and they came back almost like an inversion of the previous test. They ended up winning 27-9. The Lions failed to fire a single shot in that second half. It truly was, as I said before, an inversion. The Lions' backs could not get any passages of play through. They could not hold through the phases. And that Springbok bomb squad, man, that was fire. So guys, there's quite a few highlights, there's quite a few things to discuss in relation to the second test, so stay with me here on this channel so I can explain everything to you guys. I will refrain from using footage, as even though it was under fair use last time, it was copyright claimed, so I'll probably try and stay away from a bit of that, eh? So in the second half, that was when everything was really decided. The Springbok bomb squad came on, annihilated the Lions pack, and they turned them into the British and Irish Cubs. The Lions were not looking very strong, barring their locking combo. There were some really silly penalties given away in that second half. We had an incident in the first half where Duhan van der Merwe was looking at Cheslin Colby, was going for the ball, but ended up kicking Colby. So yeah mate, that probably should have been a red. And a few minutes later, it was Colby himself involved again. Colby was having a bit of a run, looking to get the ball off Conor Murray, but then Ben O'Keefe stopped watching the game and he ended up coming to me. And Ben said, "Hey Max, I've got this drawing of Santa here I need to draw, mate. So what colour do you think I should go for?" And I said to Ben, "Hey mate, look, this is a really nice drawing and you really need a best colour to draw this thing and colour it in, eh? So what I think you should do, mate, is I think you should go for red." That's what I told Ben, right? But Ben unfortunately then went back to the rugby game and he ended up giving Cheslin Colby, of all players, a yellow card. I'm not sure what that was about, but I said, "Mate, hey look, I think you'd probably better go for red when you're talking about this drawing of Santa." Anyway, the drawing of Santa is totally irrelevant and colouring in has got nothing to do with this game, so I think we'll move on. In the first half, guys, the Springboks lineout was looking quite shaky. There wasn't actually a genuine organiser for that lineout on the field. Bongi and Mbonambi is throwing atrocious, and it was so uncharacteristic from Mbonambi to be throwing like that, especially at international level. I think when Malcolm Marx came on, that lineout went from about down here to way up here, out of frame, I probably think. I also think the replacement props as part of that bomb squad were dynamic, as Stephen Kitsoff in his 50th test was physical, but he didn't quite get the ball going his way when he was on the defensive line. I do think some of those British and Irish Lions backs put in some hits, but overall they made some poor decisions. Handling was sloppy. I don't actually know why Conor Murray and Dan Biggar came off either. I think those two were playing a lot better than last week, and so I'm not sure why you'd want to bring Ali Price off the bench. I think you've got to have Murray off the bench next week, and you've got to start Price, because the combo with having the older guy off the bench just works so much better. It's so much calmer in those last few minutes. Price looked incredibly rattled. Toby Faletau looked ridiculously rattled. There just wasn't a lot of that mental fortitude coming through from the Lions. Handré Pollard too, he got lucky with his kicking, I think. His kicking was a bit of a kind of mixed, if you get what I mean. Whereas Dan Biggar was perfect in terms of his percentage, but thing is, Pollard, although there was that kicking worry, he was perfect around the field. He was dropping bombs left, right, centre, and epic stuff from him around the field. I think it was a real good tactical organising game. Makazole Mapimpi did give away two incredibly dumb penalties in the first half, but he ended up making some very good clean carries in the second half. He won a turnover during that first half too, and he also ended up scoring South Africa's first try. Lukhanyo Am came in to make a second. I think Lukhanyo Am has been having quite a good Lions tour, and he's really just been making the most of the opportunities coming his way. What a good man to have as your vice captain. Speaking of leadership roles, I think Sia Khaleesi was incredible. Sia Khaleesi I thought was starting to get a bit past it, but the guy's definitely still got it even after recovering from the virus to come back. He made a really good try-saving tackle on Robbie Henshaw towards the end of the first half, and that was a real momentum shifter. Khaleesi also made 14 out of his 14 tackles, so excellent stuff, mate. I think he also made 6 carries too, so good on you. Tactically, I think the Springboks made another ingenious move with Quagga Smith not starting at 8. I think Jasper Wiese, although he's inexperienced, does look good going forward. He didn't look out of place by any means, so I do think he may have quite a bright future ahead of him in the green and gold jersey of South Africa. There wasn't really anyone for the Lions to target with their kicking around the field and make look silly. Duhan van der Merwe and Tom Curry weren't really chasing like how they were last week either. Tom Curry definitely lost a bit of aggression in comparison to last week. Besides his penalties last week, when I look back, he was actually okay, to be completely honest. So I do think Tom Curry does need to get a bit more aggression in the game next week. But if he's not playing, Hamish Watson has got to be in there because the Lions really missed Hamish Watson. I think it was incredibly silly to have Faletau on that bench. Faletau was it was horrible. Tide Burn probably should have come on earlier too because they needed that extra physicality in place of Jack Conan, who wasn't really offering anything, and I still don't believe he should have gone on the Lions tour itself. Faf de Klerk was incredible too. I'd probably give de Klerk like a 10 out of 10. That was just incredible from de Klerk. He was just so good at organising his team. He was so calm, and unlike Murray, he was getting a lot of support from his teammates. Connor Murray was looking quite good, as I've mentioned before, but Faf de Klerk was just taking it to a whole new level, man. Now, I've got 2 more things to talk about, guys. So the first of those things is the fact that we had a Kiwi referee out there, Ben O'Keefe. Ben is following the black jersey on Instagram, just a disclosure, so I'm not saying this just to suck up to him. I do think he's probably the best ref in our country, and if not, he's the best ref in the world. He made some incredibly good decisions. He stamped his authority early on. He made incredibly good calls apart from the 2 yellow cards. And I think it was just amazing to have an actual decent ref out there rather than Nick Berry. And wow, what a great refereeing performance. The teams looked so settled under his refereeing. There wasn't a ridiculous amount of tension compared to the first half, and that second half just kind of trundled over, and just kept going in the Springboks direction due to that powerful maul and that powerful scrum. Ebenezer, what a monster. Trevor Inyekani, what a monster. They really helped out with those mauls. And the last thing I want to talk about, though, it is a bit more negative in the direction of the Springboks. So, Rassie Erasmus was the head coach in 2018 and 2019. Originally, I didn't think it was a good idea to replace Alistair Coetzee with Rassie Erasmus at all. There wasn't really much of a change in their win percentage initially, and I was saying, hey, why is there a point of switching coaches when the win percentage is going to be the same? Then all of a sudden, these Springboks beat the All Blacks, and it's just gone from A to Z all the way up from there. It's just been going way up through the alphabet, and they've improved ridiculously since then. But Rassie Erasmus, who was also tied in as director of rugby, then said after the 2019 World Cup he was going to step down and let his assistant coach Jacques Nienaber take control of the Springboks. And yet it's Rassie Erasmus once again who's in the face of the media. He's the one talking about everything, and Also, quite a few other people have pointed him out on the sidelines previously. We have not seen him in this Lions series do it, but we have seen his Twitter row and his video kind of getting a bit grumpy with Nick Berry, as I was too, but when you're the coach, you do have to stay a bit more professional about it. Ayako Johan. I do think this whole Rassie thing is undermining the head coach, and I do believe that Jacques Nienaber is head coach in name only. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out in the third test, because I think there's going to be something quite interesting in relation to these two Springbok coaches that goes on. Warren Gatland, I've got something to say to him too, if he's watching somehow. Warren, please brace your boys for the next test and at least make the second half enjoyable, because it's never enjoyable to watch complete domination. It's why I didn't really cover the All Blacks versus Tonga all too much, and probably won't do either for the All Blacks versus USA later this year. So thanks so much for watching once again, guys. If there are any services out there like Sky Sports, Stan Sports, anything, do remember that what I am doing is fair use, so please don't kill me, please don't remove my channel. And to all my viewers too, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you for the third test, okay? Make sure to like, subscribe, follow on Instagram, join the Discord server, all that good stuff, including the Patreon, and I will talk to you again later. See you guys.